Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dash Sisters podcast.
Hey, everybody.
Today we have a very special guest. So picking the first guest was a big decision. It had to be someone special, it had to be someone close to us, and it had to be super meaningful. Maitli, do you want to tell us who we landed on finally?
Yeah, I think it's someone we've known for a long time, somebody we have shared history with, someone who's very funny, someone we've had some fun days in Bangalore with, drinking milkshakes, coconut water, someone I've known a long time.
You've known them their whole life almost.
That is true. I have known them their whole life. They can't do without me. But yes, this person is in the Southern Hemisphere. He's a barista. He's got curly hair, and he's my little brother. Welcome, Agasthya.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Okay, right off the bat, my first question to you is how cool is this?
It's cool. Obviously, I heard about my sister and her best friend from high school, well, boarding school, starting
Boarding
up a
school?
podcast, and I was just like, yeah, that sounds freaking cool. And then she was like, we're planning on getting guests. I was like, am I on the list? Because I better be. But yeah, really, really cool.
Why don't you introduce yourself to our guests? I mean, some of us know you as Maitli's little brother, the kid that used to run around with a Hanuman gadha toy on his shoulder all over campus. But can you introduce yourself to our guests who don't know you?
Yes, sure. Hi, I'm Agasthya. I am 22 years old. I currently live in Wellington, New Zealand, Southern Hemisphere, and I am a barista as of now. Yeah.
Tell us what are you doing in New Zealand? How did you go to New Zealand? What's happening?
Okay, the story I like telling everyone is that I flipped a coin between picking Australia and New Zealand, and it just landed on whichever side was New Zealand. No, which is obviously not true. I applied
Yeah, that's not
to
true. I don't
yeah,
remember that.
yeah. I applied to a couple of universities like around COVID time because that's when I graduated high school, and I got into a university in Wellington, and I kind of just accepted the offer and moved on a whim. I guess that's
Oh.
the best explanation I can give you. I did get accepted at other universities, but I don't know, something drew me towards Wellington, and I'm here.
How long have you been there?
It's been 3 years and 1.5 months.
And reviews. Are you loving your life there? What's it like?
Yeah. Well, Wellington as a curly-haired person, not great. It's really, really windy. Well, windiest city known. Well, description from my perspective would be an indie city, but like kind of an indie vibe, very down to earth, and it is a unorthodox capital. Everyone thinks that like Auckland's the capital of New Zealand, but obviously Wellington has parliaments here.
From my perspective, because we've literally seen you since, I don't know, how old were you when I first saw you? I don't know.
2 years old.
Just 2 years old. And then I hear you say things like parliament. I'm like, no.
It's not possible.
No, there's no way this kid knows that word. That's too serious.
I get surprised myself sometimes. We're both in the same boat there.
But I wanna rewind a little bit, Augustus, and talk about our shared history at boarding school. Can you talk to us a little bit about that and what you think was so different about your world there compared to ours?
Well, obviously, boarding school is a phenomenon to people that like it's already obscure. People are like, oh my god, boarding school, what's that? And I explained to people how I went from like almost 10 years, and they're kind of like confused by the concept of it and how it works. But I came into boarding school with prior knowledge. I've been visiting that school since I was 2 years old, so I knew it like the back of my hand. But I also had an older sister who was like a senior at school, so
The coolest
practically
one ever.
untouchable. Yeah, I guess. Well, I was practically untouchable, yeah. And if anything went wrong, I just go crying towards my older sister. So I did have that reassurance and backup, which is always nice. But that only lasted for 2 years, and then I think I just like made bonds or good relationships in that meanwhile, and then obviously have friends that I still speak to this day. Yeah.
Do you think you'd have switched out the boarding school experience for a, let's call it, normal school experience?
Absolutely not. No,
Oh
no,
wow, really?
never. Yeah, I
You
was.
don't wish you had the school bus and tuition class and whatever
Hmm.
else was happening in Bangalore schools at the time.
I when I went back home, when I went back home for the holidays, I would see how miserable all those kids were. Even though I was like 10 or 11 years old, I just see these guys like, oh, I have tuition today. Oh my God, I forgot to do my homework. I'm going to get hit. I'm just like, yeah, just go to boarding school. None of that happens. You stay away from your parents. That's the only issue.
Oh wow, big guns, man.
Hey, this is an outlook of me being out of school for like 5 years. So it is a
Yeah.
Only been 5 years for you, but it's been over a decade for us. But I know most of your life has been that school and that boarding school experience. So what part of it is like a strong part of you?
obviously independence. I think a lot of
Okay.
people who do, or at least from the boarding school that we went to, gained a good amount of independence. There were obviously outliers, but I think everyone I do know single-handedly can take care of themselves. And well, not be flustered by a bunch of things, especially like rogue random teachers or just people in power of authority.
Oh wow, say a little bit more about that. How do you think it affected our interpersonal skills? Because I think one part of independence that you're talking about is like logistical independence, right? You don't need someone to fold your clothes for you or do your laundry or whatever it is. But also it's like independence of thought, which is what, like, that's at least that's the sense I'm getting. So I'm wondering
Yeah.
how the experience shaped the way you thought.
I think school did a really good job of like guiding students to be more creative, especially in an ever evolving world where like it just like mainstreamed and you know a rat race or whatever phrase you want to call it. A lot of us had the chance to take a breather, you know, listen to the leaves rustle in the air and like the birds in the morning and like stuff like that, you know. But
Oh,
that
you're
also
making me
allows
really
you.
nostalgic for campus right now. I'm hearing leaves rustling and the wind and the smell of lemongrass from the hills,
Yeah, yeah, and skipping stones on the
Yeah.
granite, you know, like
Yeah.
these are like
Yeah.
core like experiences that a lot of people don't understand. Like if I mention it to someone here, they're like, "What is that?" Like, you know, and it is obviously odd, but on the other hand, it allowed us to be more creative and free and more wishful. I think like you can go chase things that you'd like to try or do things. There's just like a less barrier of entry into a bunch of different things that you want to try out.
I just want to know maybe the last 15-ish years of your life, the different milestones, childhood, teen years, adulthood, have all been in like different locations. You've had like destination childhood, destination teen years. You start off in Bangalore, you go to boarding school, in and around Andhra, and then you go to New Zealand, right? So it's also happening at the same time your personality is evolving, your identity is evolving. So tell us a little bit about that. Was it like you were reinventing yourself? Was it like hitting refresh on who Agastya is and becoming Gus, I hear?
First and foremost, I will not endorse that name. I've just been given that name.
Oh, I
um,
see. Okay.
well, it's much easier to have a single syllable thing on a field, you know, especially playing sport. But yeah, I mean, I don't mind. I've been called different names all throughout my life. Some names stick, some names don't. Doesn't matter. But yes, Bangalore, early childhood. We lived there for around 11-ish years, which I think the language I do have comes from Bangalore. There's like especially when I talk with other Indian people, there's a little bit of like, oh yeah, how's it going, da? How you doing, da? You know. Then there's school, which has all the memories that I do have. Picking up another language from school was, I think, a big thing for me.
Were you any good at Telugu?
I still speak it. I still
Oh,
converse with
wow.
people in Telugu. Yeah. So when
Can
I
I
when I
just tell
tell
our
people,
listeners, Agastya is winning 800 points above Maithili at this point.
Oh yeah. 100%, 100%. That's what I mean about our circles, like same world but still so different. Like he had his Telugu friends, and I don't know where I was.
I
But
think the
yeah.
most Telugu she learned was to say akka, which is like
yeah,
older sister.
Akavadu, it's like I don't want the food today.
That's just her refuge.
yeah,
Yeah. It's like in Bangalore, a lot of people pick up the only Kannada they pick up is to give instructions to auto drivers and say Anna idli or
yeah,
Anna nilsi, and then Maithili was like Akka waddu because she doesn't want food.
yeah, yeah. Or it was the akka koncham koncham koncham. You know?
Koncham
Oh yeah,
koncham,
yeah.
Yeah,
yes. Of course.
yeah,
Of course.
yeah. I think those are the only things that Gija will remember. But definitely learning a new language at school made a major difference because I could like converse with people who are from that area, and then it did make a difference. Well, I can also now put 4 languages spoken on like a resume, which is a cool
Yeah.
thing. And then of course New Zealand has been, I think, the place I've evolved the most. There's been a lot of integrating with a different community. I'm not alongside people that have the same train of thought or grew up in the same area. It is a pretty white dominant country. So it is, you do stick out more, you're a POC. So it is interesting.
What is your mindset? I mean, going into each of these places, were you like, that's it. This is Agastya's teen era. I'm going to be this in school, and then oh my god, I get to reinvent myself again. This is who I'm going to be. I'll tell you where this is coming up for me. So I had a like similar trajectory, right? Childhood in one place, teen years in one place. I had about a year or so where I was, doing my masters elsewhere, and each time I was like, come on, let's go. All the insecurities, all the crap baggage that you were carrying from behind, like whatever, law school was really tough. But when I go into my masters, they don't know that. I'm just going to walk in confidently. So you really get this opportunity to just be like, I can start again. Did you have a little
Yeah.
bit of that?
I think that's slowly setting into me now. I don't really think I've thought about it as much when I was like at school. But also, on the other hand, moving here was a great decision for me. Got the chance to meet new people, explore new places, obviously, and pick up new stuff like a sport, which I've been waiting to do for a while. So yeah.
I have so many questions, but if I were to pick one, I think it would be really nice if we heard, like, I think you're navigating a whole new world in your young 20s, and it's something no one from our family has been to that side of the world. And at least like with me moving to Japan, Baba and Mama lived there when I was younger, so they have like some sense of where I'm going, and they have personal stories. But for you, you went somewhere completely new. I think, tell me if I'm wrong, it requires strength to move to a new place, and it requires a degree of strength to build your new world. But what does that word mean to you in your life? What is strength for you? And tell us about your journey with that.
I think the best description of strength for me would be self-confidence. Having a solid foundation and knowing who you are as a person is pretty important. I think a lot of people struggle with figuring out what that is, whether it might just be, oh yeah, who am I, or what am I doing with this point in my life? It doesn't need to be a distinctive answer. I think it needs to be more of like, I know what I want to do and I'm going to do it. Um, and I think,
But how do you build on that, I guess? How do you recognize that I want to do something and you know that it's difficult? How do you build that?
getting out of your comfort zone is a pretty good way to do that. I think pushing yourself to do that is really important. Obviously, moving here, I had no clue about this place. I didn't know a single soul here. Moved without family, without any like strings attached, I guess, like Gauri was saying, a reset button. Um, but like, I think it's really important to make sure that you try new things. And the moment you do, you make these like newfound connections that really helps over time. Like if I walk down the main street in Wellington right now, I will bump into someone that maybe I met like 3 years ago, but I'd still remember them, and they, oh, how are you? Like it makes you feel like, oh yeah, they remembered me, and just it feels more homely. Making sure that you take time with branching out is really important, especially when you're starting someplace new.
So you feel like the people around you have really added to that strength, like people who've supported you, people who've seen you.
Well,
Yeah.
I've been told I'm a people person. So
Hmm.
I think just stepping out, especially for me, was the thing to do. University wasn't the greatest avenue for me. Yeah, I went to my lectures, I attended all my classes, but I think like I was still lost with a concept of, oh yeah, there's like a tramping club, let me go try that, or stuff like that. But it was more like organic meeting, and I think that's been lost recently. It's
Give me an example of something where you used your strength, like it was hard and you did it anyway. So what was that?
moving was a pretty big thing for me. I didn't expect to do that. I piggybacked off of my sister's idea of moving abroad. Well, she just moved abroad to a place that she has been. My concept was to move abroad to some place no one in our family has been to. I I'm subtly surprised by the fact that I wasn't more afraid of it. I was just like, oh yeah, it seems like a cool place. I'm gonna go. And then I land here, and then I realize, oh my god, I have no idea about what this place is like.
You're 22, right?
Yeah.
And I remember being 22 so many, so many years ago.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22.
Oh. So I'm just thinking, like, I remember being 22, and it was like, I think I was just finishing university, and just so many like worries about what life was going to be like. But also, it was like, life can be anything. And so I was always like caught between, this fear of uncertainty, but also the excitement of endless possibilities. You're at that juncture now. And at least from so far from the conversation, you seem pretty sure of what's happening. You
Well.
seem pretty sure of where that is. And I wonder, I want to know how much of that is just me being like, why does he know everything I didn't know? But also, so I want to know, what are the rest of the 20s looking like for you?
I I wouldn't say I have a clear concept of what the next 8 years would be like for me, but
Mhm.
currently it's looking fine, decent. I'm not like overthinking too much. I think I've gotten better at doing that. Um, I I'm just playing sport, working a job to have like pay my bills for now, and trying new things. Like last week, I went and played pickleball with like my teetering tutor from university,
Oh,
and
wow.
I literally just bumped into him on a Sunday after I finished playing badminton with my coworkers, and he was like, "You should come play." Ended up going, played with some 76-year-old man who thought I was really good, and then we went and had a beer. So, yeah,
Wow.
endless possibility.
What you said, that you feel like you've gotten better at not overthinking.
Yeah.
What is it like? What helped you? How does a 22-year-old stop overthinking? How the hell does that happen?
I'll give you a disclaimer. I still do. It's not that I've
Good,
stopped.
good.
Yeah, it's not that I've stopped. I'm just saying I've gotten better at it. I think I've given myself a sense of, I think, purpose with playing sport. I know it sounds kind of corny slash cheesy, but I think because I kind of like, I'm doing well at something, I'm putting in time and effort into it. I feel like it deserves, well, what's the word I'd use? My, well, my time or my resources for it.
Your
Um,
focus, maybe.
yeah, focus. Good. Yeah, that's the word. Yeah. And I just day in and day out, I just like go to work, come back home. If I have training, I go to training. If not, I come back home and just like hang out with my friends. And I don't really think beyond that. I don't go out too often. I don't worry about random like old people that I have cut off relationships with texting me back, or just like, I'm not bothered or phased. It's more of like the I don't know if you've heard of this, but the gaff thing is give a you don't care.
Oh.
You just
Ah.
can't care.
Mm.
Yeah. It's just you just don't care about things. You don't hold on to it for too long, and just good riddance to things that are bringing you like no peace. I think that's
Mm.
been a pretty big thing for me recently. If I get frustrated or nervous or tense about anything, I try and get rid of it. And I think that clearly has helped me stop overthinking as much.
You know what I really like about this whole thing is that it's so simple. It's like something's worrying you. It's okay. Don't.
Yeah.
You know, it sounds like
Yes.
really annoying advice to give to somebody else, but sometimes I suppose it is just that simple.
Yeah.
Gaff.
Yeah, gaff.
Don't gaff. At
Yeah.
least
Yeah.
this is me
Well,
very very nervously trying out new young terminology. I'm just like
I don't
yeah.
gaff. Do you gaff?
I think, yeah, it sounds a little too simple, but I think that's what makes it the cherry on top, you know?
yeah.
You're going through all of this like stuff, you have issues at work, or you don't like your boss, or your ex just texted you and you don't want to deal with it. And you're just like, I just can't be bothered, guys. I want to sit out in the sun, eat watermelon, read a book. That's it. Don't trouble me. You can get away.
Eat watermelon, read a book. Can that be the title of this episode? I really think
I
it
love it.
should.
Got
Well,
it. We
I did
found
that
it
today.
again.
So I did that
We're
today.
gonna eat watermelon, read a book. Eat
Read a book.
watermelon, read a book.
Yeah.
I
Read a
love
book.
Yeah. Well, that's what I did today. I literally just sat in the sun with watermelon and read a book and then took a nap. So.
Oh, perfect.
what a beautiful life. Agasthya, in my mind, when I think about you, always, I tell people this, it's always like, instantly I think about like 5 or 6 year old Agasthya, because that's my Agasthya the most, maybe. So, like, it takes me time to be like, wait, he's taller than me, and he's bigger than me, and stronger than me. What's that song, Agasthya?
Legs a
It's
bit
a
longer
Justin
than
Bieber.
me.
Yeah.
Legs are a little
That
bit
one.
longer than me.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I was wondering if I could ask a question to that 5 or 6 year old. What
Oh.
what version of the future did that little boy see, and how much of it are you living it up right now? Guys, famously, side note, once upon a time, little Agasthya was asked a question. Agasthya, what would you like to be when you grow up? And he answered, I would like to be a
I have no idea, guys.
dinosaur.
Well, funnily enough, I actually still do have my little dinosaur with me.
That's so cool. Where's this from?
I think you sent it to me. What are you talking
I
about?
thought I sent it. Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How she
dinosaur?
lined that up? No. Oh, who sent it to you? Oh,
Who sent
me.
that to you?
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, couldn't be me. No, I didn't do that.
such a good gift. So good.
I don't know if I'm anywhere close to being a dinosaur, but I think
You never know. You never know.
yeah, you never know. You're not wrong.
I am.
Uh, um,
that came from nowhere.
okay. But definitely, I think 5 or 6 year old me would be proud of the fact of number one, finding comfort in my own hair. I think it was a big thing for me when I was younger. It's either my mom would allow me to grow my hair out or it would be nothing. And then I went to boarding school when I was 8. So then
And by nothing, he means literally nothing.
no, literally nothing. Yeah.
Like shaved off.
Shaved off completely. And then
Oh.
when I moved to boarding school, I never got the option to grow it out. So I think I was never comfortable in my own hair. Super proud of that, I think. Another
I'm
thing
just
would
so
probably
happy.
be
I'm
Now
just
you-
so
and
happy to
now-
hear that.
That's nice. And now you do the braids and you do the cool looks. It's awesome.
Yeah. Well, very POC hair, I'd say. A lot of people don't understand that I'm Indian, and they don't think that I'm Indian because I have curly hair. And when I do have my hair in cornrows, they think I'm either from France or Jamaica or the Caribbean and whatnot. So, yes, ethnically ambiguous, I could say. But I think another thing that 5 or 6 year old me would be happy about is taking pride in like the clothes I wear. My mom was really good at picking out stuff for 5 or 6 year old me, but not like 17, 18 year old me. And
Of course.
well, Yeah, I guess. But
He had the
like,
fanciest little leather shoes as a baby, but then I guess your style
Oh
changed
my,
as you grew up.
yeah,
Agasthya, you
yeah.
should talk to us about Agastya wears.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hey.
sure. Yeah, it's a little like, well, daily-ish page I just have for things I wear. That's pretty much it. Just
Yeah.
feeling more natural, comfortable in the clothes that I do wear. Yeah.
You know, first of all, I love that page because I think you do it so like effortlessly because you're just like, I'm standing on the road, yeah, whatever, this is how I look, yeah, whatever. And then the thing that bothers me the most though is at the end you do your heart like this. And I'm like, that's such a like Gen Z or whatever Gen you are way
I
of
know.
doing the heart. We do hearts like this, tips of your
No.
fingers and then the thumb, whereas you've just got your index
There's yeah.
finger.
There's this,
Yeah,
there's
and how
this.
do they do that? It's like a whole skill. Like, how does it line up? I don't know.
It's
It's just
I don't
hard.
know.
It's not easy.
Matley is losing dexterity with age, but yes.
Where? How will it fit like in the right moment? That's why I'm like, yeah,
I
we have
think
our own
It
hearts.
is.
I mean, it does take a little bit of practice, but when you get used to it, it's pretty straightforward. That's probably the two things 5 or 6 year old me would be proud of. I don't think career wise anything I was too focused on that much when I was 5 or 6, apart from being a dinosaur. Thankfully, I'm not
Yeah.
getting there yet. Running around helps. So, yeah.
All a matter of time, man.
I'll try and fight it, but we'll see.
You've spoken about sport and how that's like, impacted your mind space. Some of the default answers we often hear with sport is, oh, it's brought me discipline. Or oh, it's like changed how I view the world. And I'm famously not sporty. So for me, this is always a very interesting space on how a physical activity, competitive team, whatever it is, changes your inner mind. So I want to know about that.
Wow.
Um, First of all, I'd say with playing competitive sport, you get into this flow state, or more
Mm.
of like well, we kind of call it like bring out the dog in you. You just like
Oh,
you're ready to fight. You're ready to stand your ground, put things on the line. Like you will fight for whatever you're trying to achieve, right?
sorry.
Um,
Before you get into that, could you tell our listeners what you're playing and at what level you're playing it?
Okay, so I play ultimate frisbee, but I have been playing for the past 3-ish years. I have represented New Zealand at the under 24s category.
That's
Um,
crazy, man.
and I will be representing a um club team from New Zealand in Ireland next year. So yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
How did you get into it?
The crazy story is that I was walking past the field that we train on now, every Sunday at Boyd Wilson, and it was near the university that I studied at, and I was walking past, and I was like, I have definitely played that sport before. Someone introduced it to me when I was at boarding school. Like it was a very brief thing. We played it for maybe one day, and we're like, oh, that seems fun, and then went to this. I walked past, and turns out I ended up talking to the best player in the country at the time, and I just was like, hey, do you guys have openings? I would love to try it. Me just like absolutely nervous, not knowing who this person was. And he was like, yeah, we're pretty competitive though. I'm like, yeah, I'm okay with that. Sign me up. And
Oh,
I just started showing up. First 2 or 3 weeks, I had my ankles
yeah.
broken, but we're doing it. Full circle. I am his teammate, and yeah, shout out to Nicholas Whitlock. Yeah.
This is such a great story of just give it a go. Shoot
Yeah,
your shot.
it was more of just like I've definitely played this. It seems cool, and it looks like really good the way that they were doing it. And I was like, that really calls out to me. I'm like, yeah, cool. Might as
I
well
love
ask.
that.
But for the ultimate world that's listening to this podcast, I would like to say it's not like Agasthya wasn't sporty back in his day. He into sports his entire life. So like since he was a kid, he was always playing cricket. And what else were you into, Agasthya?
I think the first thing I did was competitive
Oh.
swimming a little bit when I was like 4 or 5. Did a couple of competitions, did cricket, and then boarding school. I did a lot of athletics, and I competed at javelin at state level.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, wow.
yeah,
I didn't know any of this. Agasthya, what the
Yeah,
hell?
we missed
yeah,
all that, Kari. We missed the
yeah.
Yeah.
state
And
competitions.
then
Yeah.
captain the cricket school team, captain the basketball team at school. Uh, yeah, one bunch of like like tournaments at school, I guess. Yeah.
You're so lightly like, yeah, I just did this at state level. Yeah, whatever. Just captain. Yeah, whatever. You know? It's so
No, the
cool.
thing
So
it's
cool
so
about it.
hard to like list all of these things out without sounding really bad, you know.
It's really hard when you have so many accomplishments. I know it must be tough.
No,
Oh.
it's
Hey,
yeah. Well,
everybody, look at my collection of medals.
like
On that note, where do you keep your achievements? Where is it right in front of where? Are you pointing to something? This. Whoa, hey. It's like a whole musical instrument.
yeah. This is my medal stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice jewelry, man.
Thank you.
Awesome. It's like Christmas music.
Amazing.
Yeah. But ultimate frisbee is the sport I have leaned into. To answer the question is one, bring out the dog in you, which is just like being determined and willing to give it your all. Two, sense of community. I would say these are the closest people that I do have in this country, like people I play sport with. And also you did mention you're more disciplined and you take time out of your day to try practice and do stuff like that. At the end of the day, it is to try and improve yourself. Um, and the side effect is medals and winning, right?
Oh, hey,
It's
nicely put.
yeah. I don't want to do that. Yes, we do want to win as a competitive team, but at the end of the day, I want to have a good time with my friends and do well at the sport together. I think there's a lot of importance in uplifting everyone together in that community, and I think it's really well done in ultimate frisbee because it is a like self-refereed sport, so you have to be like honest, and also just like you do most of your things together all the time. So yeah.
Wow, it's very a way of life rather than anything else.
Yeah, it has been called a cult by some people, but yeah.
Okay, I guess that we are gonna be wrapping all of this up soon. So I wanted to see if you have any questions for us.
I think from the top of my head would be
Okay.
what's the reason that ignited this podcast?
Basically, it's about like kind of bringing our world to life, sort of like who are the people who are in our world. You know, we appreciate the people in our lives, but we don't always get to speak with them and get to know what's going on. And so I think we want to really celebrate our connections, our family, our friends, our world, and, you know, have inspiring conversations and chat with the two of us, hang out in our world. And it's about like a sense of community as well. Long distance. This is our long distance recording studio, you know?
Yeah, I think for me, it's that, I mean, this episode has been such a great example that everyday people have great lessons to learn from. And you don't need to be a Fortune 500 company, somebody, or a great celebrity or whatever. There are little successes in life, and there's just so much to learn from people. And life hacks. It's life hacks. Like you told us, if you're worried, don't worry. Like, that's such a good life hack. You know?
That's way
Sometimes
simpler than I did say, but yes, sure.
yeah, but sometimes people just need to hear that, you know, and they need to hear that from the people they've grown up with or they know for in their, you know, like
Yeah.
imagine if your roommate or someone from school is hearing this. It's like nice to hear your your buddies say these
Yeah.
things, you know, which you might not have been able to say probably 10 years ago.
I'm also sure there are lots of people like me. I think obviously Maitli has a great deal of context into you and your life and, you know, knows your everyday. But I'm sure there are people in among our listeners who are like me who know you but haven't necessarily been in touch with you. And then you see this kid who's mature and has a job and is talking about sense of community. I was like, can you go back and play your cricket in the corner, please? Because this person is so different to me, and I would have never known that had it not been
Yeah.
for the podcast. That's what it
Yeah.
is about.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that is the
Uh,
case. When I tell everyone that Jija and Gauri are doing a podcast together, they'll be intrigued and they'll watch.
Yeah. We were also talking about it in our first episode. How many people are going to hate listen? You know?
Tall poppy syndrome, man. Tall poppy syndrome.
What is that?
What is that?
All these young things this fellow is talking.
No. Tall poppy syndrome is like a very known Kiwi thing. It's like when someone's trying to improve themselves or do better, people around them will degrade them and say they can't. So whichever's the tallest poppy, you cut off, so then all of them grow together. Tall poppy syndrome.
I'm going to use that in front of people here and just be like, you don't know what tall poppy syndrome is?
Yeah,
Lame."
yeah, you should. And then the next time someone's like, "Oh yeah, I'm so worried about this," you be like, "Oh, gaff, doesn't matter."
Yeah. I don't even
Gaff.
give. Is that what is the usage? Because it's like give a so you have to say I don't give. I don't.
No, you
gaff.
just say gaff. Give a fuck.
Oh, it just means you already don't.
Yeah.
The don't is
You don't.
included
That
in
poor,
the thing.
what's her name? Dua Lipa has made one IDGAF.
IDGAF.
Madam, ID
Poor
is
Dua Lipa.
irrelevant. ID is irrelevant. GAF only. Update yourself.
That poor Dua Lipa. She didn't know what she was on about.
That Lipa
That was-
fellow.
Yeah, useless only. Number one useless fellow.
Simply
Yeah.
putting 5 letters instead of 3.
Chumma useless, unnecessary they're putting off.
Oh my. Agasthya, I want to say thank you so much for joining us on this show. I really do think you were the perfect guest because you're not only her little brother, but I feel like you're like the community little brother and certainly a Dash sister little brother. And so it's so special to have you. So special to see you grow up and, launch yourself into the 20s. If you need any advice, don't call us. We have none. So
Perfect.
good luck.
I feel like don't want to call anyone for advice on that.
Keep showering us with your advice, and that's the way
Yeah.
to go. The 20s are going to be so fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. 8 more years to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, everyone who tuned in to this week's episode with my little brother, Agasthya, on the Dash Sisters podcast. Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.